everyone. So excited for today for this topic about hormones and about especially how they work into women's body. But we will also see how generally, like what are hormones and how we can get the most benefit out of it, especially with what we're going to speak today is how especially some products that we have in Doterra, they're really wonderfully organized and made in such a way that they can support the well-being of the hormones. And we will also look at each and every aspect of which herbs and which element externally and internally are affecting and contributing to our hormone wellness. So we'll start. I will quickly also introduce myself. I am a yoga teacher. I've been a massage therapist, pranotherapist. I've been working with people especially connected on the physical body and then on the subtle body. So these are the therapies I've mostly been offering so far. And in the last years, I have been looking much deeper into the aspect of how, especially for women, there is a beautiful dharma, there is a beautiful mission that is inside, like about the constitution of a woman body. And that's really important to understand. And I feel that works really well by understanding how our hormones work. So I'm very excited to share it with you today. And I will start sharing the screen. Okay. So I hope you can all see my screen now. It should work.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can start by a little bit understanding. So how, especially, we can have an honest look at ourselves and try to understand like how is our monthly cycle. This is like basic of trying to understand how actually well our body is working by taking it like month by month. And you would just ask ourselves right now a little bit like how has it been, our monthly cycle, like if it's like one is like, okay, wonderful, like you had a wonderful month, you're feeling healthy, you're feeling that the blood is circulating nicely into the body. Or if you are peri or post menopause, you can also check that, but I think we are mainly speaking right now about how is generally our monthly cycle. And that's very important because that determines also how our emotions are. So usually when the cycle is like very painful, that means that there is a lot of contraction. That means that life is getting a little bit like tough and we're like maybe very busy and really stressing our first energy centers to like survive or really trying to work hard and doing many active things. Or it can be also the opposite. So an imbalance in our cycle can either mean that we are very like kind of lazy, like sluggish. So we feel like very slow and we feel the cycle is not really happening. Or it can be the opposite, that where it's really strong, like we have a lot of blood and there is like a lot of, pain and heat in the body. So there are these two different ways that we can kind of take a moment to think about it. How is it for us? And then we can go to the next one about what does it mean to have hormonal imbalances. So we can check the different areas that can be connected to thyroid, hyper, if it's like very strong, and hypo if it's in the other side very weak. Adrenal fatigue, this is a big one. This is really, really connected with the behind our back, the adrenals. And I've noticed a lot, like this coronavirus, especially this type of virus affects a lot our adrenals because it goes into the nervous system. So that, if you had the virus, maybe that could have affected that. And losing weight, this is one of the most common, losing weight or gaining too easily weight. Mood swings, that's also like, you know, more relatable. Trouble in sleeping, infertility, poor memory, diabetes, or whatever other like problematic that, like for example, PMS, the problem connected with the period, or there are so many different imbalances that are actually caused by hormones. And today we will just see a few. And then I would love to hear from you. What is your main point that you're dealing with? That will be very interesting. So, and how hormones are affected. So we have three main ways of how we can bring balance. And that's through, of course, lifestyle. And for example, diet plays definitely the major role. Diet also connected with the prana, with the energy of the food we are eating. Exercise, extremely important, even if it's a walk every day. Stress relief, meaning not taking things like whatever work, whatever activity we do, even if it's eating healthy, even if it's doing exercise, we don't do it in a mood of like, oh, I have to get it done, but we take away that stress from our life. And of course, with our addiction control, that can also just mean like eating like a lot of chocolate, or of course, smoking, drinking. That are all important to understand and remove for having optimal health. Then we have alternative medicine, and that's what we're gonna speak mainly today, of all the natural supplements that, especially in Doterra, are very, very available. But of course, you can find these supplements in anywhere, and how they support nutrition, the phytoestrogen. And that's a big topic we will talk about, how they affect the menstruation and hormone balancing. There are so many natural supplements connected to that. And additionally, having alternative therapies that could be through energy healing, aromatherapy, like just smelling the oils, and acupuncture or massage therapies. They're all very, very helpful in bringing relaxation. And of course, the last stand is where, once we haven't been treating our issue for a long time, then usually that's when we would consider going to the conventional medicine. So getting some specific medications that would, really help in this, very, very heavy disease that can really affect our life very negatively. So when we arrive to the higher stages of disease, then medications are important. And of course, surgery for people that have cysts or any internal problem. So it's beautiful that we have all these three options. We have modern medicine that is really ahead with surgery, and that's really helpful when things are not going so well. But we also have so much to share and to get to know for having a very healthy lifestyle. So I want to start a little bit speaking about the female reproductive system that is incredibly, it creates like the main process of the ovaries is to create progesterone and estrogen, and they have more than 300 functions in the body. They're incredible, like these two hormones that come from the ovaries. And in this, we have, speaking about the reproductive system, we're also speaking about ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, external genitals, breast. And all this, they work really closely, really interconnected with the endocrine system. That is the most beautiful, complex, but very, very powerful system that includes also different organs that I will show after. And so we can see in this picture that we have about this is like a general picture of how the hormones are in a healthy hormonal cycle. So we can see when there is ovulation. So at the start of the ovulation process, the estrogen go really high. And this is like 2 weeks after we had the period. And then as soon as the estrogen go very high, the progesterone starts to go high and the estrogen starts to go low. So what are these estrogen and progesterone? The estrogen are mainly for increasing like that feminine aspect of our body. Like they really work when the estrogen is high, it connects to the breast, it connects to having a very moist like skin. And then the progesterone is instead very, very crucial for women that want to get pregnant. So it gives that grounding, that stability into the body to create that space within. And yeah, these are the two main very important aspects of understanding the ovaries. And nutrition, definitely nutrition and hydration, they impact the hormones of the ovaries so much. And we will dive deeper into this in the next slides, because there are so many wonderful ways to understand actually how to balance estrogen and progesterone, because nowadays we have, especially with women that suffer of period imbalances and all these stressful things. Most of the time outside, people are telling them, oh, maybe you have too much estrogen, but actually it is normal to have during period like that the estrogen is higher. But there is another point that I will explain later of why it's not about adding hormones into the body, but it's about cleaning our system. So that's a very, very important part. And connecting about cleaning the system and supporting the system, I have here, I want to speak a little bit about how the wonderful products that are in Doterra, especially the LLV, so Lifelong Vitality Pack, because it's really nicely made. There are 3 main products that, work on the physical, but because they're full of herbs and because they're full of essential oils, they also work on the subtle. So for example, we have omega, that is extremely important, especially for vegetarian. In a normal, like if you don't have the supplement, you can find omega in linseed. So like in, if you blend the linseeds and you can put them in your meals, they're full of omega and they're really, really wonderful for supporting the function, the healthy function of the brain, eyes, and nervous system. Is so important too, especially for people that the hormones affect a lot the nervous system. It also works well for having healthy skin, hair, and nails. It creates energy in the body, promotes positive mood, enhances learning, supports fatigue and muscle, and promotes strong teeth and bones. And that's mainly one of the main product there is definitely linseed and a beautiful mix of essential oils. In the alpha, this is, for example, the most amazing because the alpha works really well with the with our endocrine system, but especially with the liver, because we will see in the next slide that the liver plays such an important role into giving the signals into the body and making them understand if the hormones that they are getting divided into the liver, they will give the information to the whole body if of what we actually need. So a liver that doesn't function well, it will really suffer into giving the right hormones, the right chemicals into the body. And hormones are pretty much chemicals that they are completely interconnected, and they work really, they move, they're constantly moving in the body. And the key word is constantly moving. It's like, you know, and that's the beautiful thing. You can never make a statement like, oh, you know, that you cannot treat thyroid or you cannot treat, because especially with hormones, they work fast. So when you give them the right thing, they will bring optimal health into the body in not such a long time. So this is the result I've seen the most in people that have been taking supplements. It gives them maybe 1 or 2 months. It gives them results. And personally did it to myself. And I will explain you later why. And then, so we have this alpha that is really my favorite because works on the supporting this healthy cellular function and the metabolism. So it really works with everything that, when we speak about healthy cellular function, it means that the information goes right into the hypothalamus, that is one of the main gland into the system, and from there the information goes down. So one of the main examples that I like to give is like, for example, you eat a carrot, and a carrot is like, you know, kind of supposed to be very healthy, but if you have a negative connotation with the carrot and you don't think that it's going to be good for you, even by eating the carrot, because the first impression goes from the hypothalamus, already your brain will tell your system, oh, this is not good for you. So when the message, so when you will eat the carrot, still the body will feel, will not get the most of the benefit out of it, because there is a negative impression of it. So it's quite amazing how the mind influences so much our body, and at the same time, when we struggle a lot to influence our body, influence our mind, then we can do it in a subtle way. So using supplements, using essential oils that will regenerate the cells, so automatically they will give a much positive, a much more strong, they will create a much stronger body, that even if you have like negative thoughts or like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have eaten this or like this, still it's going to give a lot of support to the body to digest and to support the system. And in this alpha, there is also a tummy tamer blend that is with turmeric and cumin and different spices that help for the stomach to make sure that whatever it takes, it's going to digest it nicely. And then the last one, the Microplex, is so wonderful because it's just a mix of all the vitamins that we actually need, especially if we are vegetarian. And so we have vitamins A, C, E, and B. It supports the bone health. So it's really, really wonderful. It includes a blend of kale, dandelion, parsley, kelp, broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage, and spinach. It's really like a mix of both vitamins, blend of vegetables, and it contains calcium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, and other minerals that are all essential for keeping our body healthy and giving us all the nutrients that we need. So Microplex is really, really one of the most wonderful for having like a general support to the system. And I personally they recommend to take like a high dose. So it's like take 4 tablets of each. And that's what I also recommend to people that like have never taken supplements for a long time. So taking like 2 of each at breakfast and then 2 of each at dinner. But what I also recommend is to just like, the important thing is in anything we do, in anything we take in our life, it's to do it consistently. So if you feel like, oh, maybe you're feeling better, you're feeling more healthy, I still recommend you to take maybe 1 of each per day. I personally take 2 of each every day, even if I'm feeling good, because it's still a really great support. And making sure, you know, that the body really has all the minerals, all the vitamins it needs. So in this way, the mind will also be more peaceful. It really gives a lot of support to the nervous system. So the next one, I have to go a little faster because we have quite a lot to talk. So we have the bone nutrient that is actually recommended not just for women going to menopause or perimenopause, but also for teenagers or people that are going into developing their bones into adolescence, and you know, that they need a lot of vitamin D. So this is really a wonderful support of vitamin D. And we know that vitamin D is also very powerful because it helps to, it's very interesting. It helps to gain that hormones that is connected with serotonin, because vitamin D is produced at night, and that's where also the hormones of serotonin, so the hormones of joy, of relaxation is promoted. And also people that have struggled to sleep, this is a wonderful supplement, because it gives that support. That so increasing the serotonin means that once the sun goes down, immediately the body will start to feel more relaxed, and it gives us support to have a very early and restful sleep. And for adults, they recommend 4 capsules a day. And same thing, I personally like to take like 2 capsules or 1 capsule, and making sure I take it every day for at least 3 months. Another one is the Phytoestrogen Complex. That is, I think the next one, yeah. So the Phytoestrogen Complex is really wonderful for, you know, as I was saying at the start, we have ovaries that are secreting both estrogen and progesterone. And the medicine, the traditional medicine outside, they always advise us maybe to take extra, to do like a hormone, taking hormonal into our body, chemical hormones. But what this product does, and what you want to really do with your body, is to release any type of toxicity that is connected with your estrogen. And I will, so what it does is assist to balance. So it doesn't cure, but all these products, they are not here for like curing or, you know, like treating, but they're here for like supporting the transformation of our body, supporting the balancing system of our body. And then it contains ginseng, that is fermented soy. And soy is actually the soy that most of us eat. So it's not most of the time fermented, and it's not the one that has the vitamins and has the minerals that we really need in our body. So they were able to extract from fermented soy this particular element called genistein, and this really helps for women, especially in the breast tissues, and they're also very, very helpful for men. So it's really, really a wonderful product, because it also helps balancing testosterone. That is another hormone that comes from, especially in the man body. So this can really be taken also for men. It's really, really wonderful, especially if a man has some imbalances connected to his stamina, his like energy levels, and he needs like an extra support into bringing that balance. And is also helpful for healthy bones, for the heart. It's full of antioxidant. And here they advise to take like 2 capsules with food where it's needed. And post-menopausal woman can take 2 capsules with food every day. So you can also feel at a certain age it's better to take things more regularly and bigger quantity, especially if you want to treat a particular issue. And so what it does is this product is not going to bring more estrogen into the body, because what happens into our body, we have naturally estrogens are really good for our body. And so this is the main hormones that our ovaries produce. But there is this xenoestrogen that is unfortunately a very, very aggressive type of hormone that attacks our estrogen. So when the xenoestrogen, what happens is, instead of giving the natural indication to the body, so to bring up that like femininity, that feminine characteristic into ourselves, the xenoestrogen attacks these hormones, and then it creates very, very toxic messages that get sent into our body. That's why we are focusing on cleansing the body. And xenoestrogen can be really found like everywhere. We have them in water, pesticide, cleaning products, plastic food, canned food, like everywhere. You can like have a quick look at it. Also up and you can see like they're literally everywhere. And these are all toxic. They come from the products. It's like coming from like plastic and other all of these different products, and they get into our body, and then they start attacking our natural wonderful system, to the endocrine system. So it's really, really, and what it does, this product that I was explaining before, the phytoestrogen, it helps to get rid of these xenoestrogen that are attacking. So once we can see, once the xenoestrogen attacks the estrogen, then the information, so where is the yellow light, that's where the information goes to the system. And if it's attacked, then it's going to make us feel sick, and then it's going to threaten the glands, the main glands into our system. And I want to show you quickly before we go the other a little bit. These are like the main, like in this picture here, we have like the main organs, the main organs of the endocrine system. And there are around like 50 main hormones into our body, but today we are only speaking about like 4 or 5. And so we have been seeing pretty much till now how the ovaries have been working, and then we will also see how the adrenals work. We will see the pancreas, we will see the thyroid, and briefly also the pineal gland. And yeah, they're really, and it's extremely important, like to make sure that each of especially this main one are functioning well, because if they don't, they actually cause they're all interconnected. So you're like, you can't have like one, of course you can have one more problematic, but they're still all interconnected. So we want to make sure we're bringing optimum balance to all of them. So I want to speak also briefly about the rose. So now we have in Doterra the rose oil. I also have it here, rose oil, or I love roses. And when I was doing the presentation, and especially in our philosophy of Doterra, they speak so much about the importance, especially in a woman body, that you want to cultivate that energy of love into your life. And this is actually it activates the main hormone that is going to increase your feminine qualities, and it's going to increase, it's called oxytocin. I will speak around the end much more about it. So any smell that is connected with roses really helps to the heart chakra, that is like the main system where, like the blood, where the blood gets regenerated. Every moment, new blood is getting streamed into the body. So that's where most of the informations are coming from. After we breathe, after we eat. And then, so I wanted to briefly read to you about the positive effects of using like rose. At the start, I was never really into rose. I liked maybe more grounding oils or more grounding spices and herbs. But I've seen that really rose has a really magical effect into the body, especially in a female body, like increases so much that relaxation and then that feeling comfortable into our own body. So I want to read from this book that is so wonderful. If you ever get a chance, it's called Essential Emotions. It's also has been recommended from one of my very good friends, that she knows so much, and this book really gives you so many insights about how the oils, or even if you don't have these oils, how herbs work so nicely with the body, with the emotions. So I want to quickly read to you what about the rose. The rose oil holds a higher vibration than any other oil on the planet. It is a powerful healer of the heart. It supports individuals in reaching handward and connecting with divine love. Rose teaches the essential need for divine grace and intervention in the healing process. As an individual opens to receive divine benevolence in all its manifestations, the heart is softened. If one can simply let go and choose to receive divine love, they are wrapped in warmth, charity, and compassion. And this is like the main hormones as women that we want to cultivate, and it's called oxytocin. So it's the hormone of love, and this rose really helps that mood. I used to have like really a lot of pain in my period, and I was always like a very active person. I was always like in my heart, like really wishing I didn't have like period because they were like such a waste of time. But the more I discovered the high frequency that as women, especially going through a period, there is one lady that she had a machine, and she was able to measure her frequency during her period, and it were so much higher. The woman goes in such high frequency during her period, and if the woman is not connected to her body, that's where the most of our disease come, because in that space, when a higher frequency come and we are not ready for it, we are just going to like try to drag it down, and then it's going to, because it's trying to bring us up, we will feel the opposite because we are not ready for it. And that's also in spirituality, when there is such a beautiful, purifying energy, most of the time we may feel that is dragging us down, because it's actually trying to release that part of us that is holding us back from like blossoming like a beautiful rose. So it's really, really a wonderful, wonderful oil. And if you have, you know, if you have a partner that you want to impress, you know, people bring roses. If you bring like the rose essential oil, you will definitely have the most happy women in your life. That's very, very sweet. So another one, it's my favorite. I actually have it always with me, Clarical, especially now that I'm actually in my period also. It's so wonderful how just by applying it, just by smelling it, it goes deep into harmonizing the ovaries. Estrogen, especially with estrogen, works so, so well. And the main ingredients are Roman chamomile, that is grounding, lang lang, all these flowers, geranium, lavender, clary sage. Clary sage is also one that I always have with me. It's really, it's so grounding, and at the same time is a beautiful, like fresh flower. Cedarwood is also very, very good, and bergamot. All the citrus are really, really helpful. So what I do actually, it's because it's really concentrated. You can actually, instead of like just using it all, you can dilute in like 2. So you can make like 2 bottles. So you have like 2 instead of 1, because every oil we use, if we mix them with a carrier oil, the body absorbs it 70% more. Instead, the oil just by itself, it only absorbs it for 20%. So this is really important, that you don't want to apply just the pure essential oil on your skin, but you always want to have it mixed so the body has the most absorption from it. And this helps with, especially with cramps. Like if you have any problem with cramps, this will like solve all your problems, especially connected to that. And mood swings, mainly rubbing under the feet and rubbing under where the belly is. So, and I want to quickly show you here, like where you see the number 14 on the right. That's the best place to apply this Claricarb. Any oil that where you want to soothe your ovaries, you want to apply them here where the number 14 is on your right, on the pink. It's really the perfect spot that goes right where your ovaries are, and brings really a wonderful balance to the hormones. So we have already quite a lot to speak about, but time is going, so we'll try to make it a little shorter. So now want to speak quickly about the endocrine support. So we have so we said the hypothalamus is the main place where we get information, one of the main glands. So it's right behind, you can see in the picture on the right, the hypothalamus. Pineal gland is just behind. So another way to massage the pineal gland is actually, you can also feel this little bone behind you, behind your head, where there are like these 2 main bones, and giving a massage there, it goes straight to the pineal gland. So sometimes when you feel like stressed, you can just give a little massage there. And then for the pineal gland, you can use for the upper chakra, so 6th and 7th chakra, you can use frankincense, sandalwood, helichrysum. These are the most powerful. So another one for that is copaiba. That is my favorite, because it really, I take it like 1 drop under my tongue every morning, because it just balances the system. It just balances completely the nervous system. And then we have what is it? Geranium and lang for hormonal support. For thyroid, we will speak is clove, lemongrass, blue tansy, all this fresh. It's connected with the throat chakra, so we also want to bring any fresh, also like mint, any fresh aroma is going to help for thyroid. Adrenal and glandular support, we will speak about endocrine for the liver lover like me. And DDR prime is really wonderful because it has frankincense, it has all oils, perfect, like we said before, for detoxificating the body. So let's speak quickly about the liver. It's absolutely my favorite because a healthy liver really gives a very healthy way to process what happens into our life. So extremely important, as of course, all the others are also very important. And I wanted to speak a little bit what affects negative the liver. And the main things are poor nutrition, any coffee or alcohol or even sugar, all this, smoking, then any like stress, processed food, environmental toxins, heavy metals. We'll speak briefly about, heavy metals. To release heavy metals, the endocrine is really the best. I don't know if you also heard of this medical medium. Is also another way to, they have beautiful way of detoxificating your body. And one of the things that I do every day for my liver, because it's not the best taste, but is drinking celery juice. This is like one of the most, it changed my whole system, drinking celery juice every morning, fresh, of course, and then taking endocrine. Endocrine is really, really wonderful. Inside, it's not so many, it's mainly tangerine, rosemary, geranium, but we can see in the picture here, there is this soft gels that are with all the oils, so you can easily take them internally. And there is also another endocrine from, I think from Zenjas, that helps with, it's full of herbs that are like tonic for the liver. So that is also very wonderful. And then you have lemon every morning also, it's very wonderful to take. And slim and sassy is a beautiful blend that it's best to take in capsule because you want it to arrive deep inside the stomach. So not that it stops before, but when we take anything in capsule, it will go much deeper. So we'll probably arrive down to the intestine. So then we have pancreas. Pancreas is extremely important because it is, where was it? I think I had it. Yeah, here we can see the pancreas that is between where the stomach and where the liver is, and before the intestine. And the pancreas is really, really important, especially because it regulates and metabolize the system. And so it's between the stomach and the liver. And what you want to do is, one of the main things for having a healthy pancreas is that it needs a long time to regenerate. So if you feel that you're having, problems, or you feel, you can also recommend or advise some friends that the pancreas really needs a lot of time to regenerate. So it gets affected the most when we're like snacking during the day. If during the day we're like not really taking time to ourselves to have like proper meals during the day, we're like snacking, and we're like all busy, then the pancreas will really get affected a lot. And so you want to make sure you give as much rest as possible, regulate blood, sugar, and release excess water into the body. So taking this blend, where there is cinnamon that helps to lose weight, it's one of the main reasons, ginger, peppermint, lemon, and grapefruit. So you can also take a screenshot. I won't go through it because we don't have so much time. So you can see all the benefit of these different herbs and plants. So then we have the adrenals. The adrenals are another extremely important gland that are attached to the kidney. So you can feel your adrenals just behind you, behind your back. And then there is actually a nice way to activate the adrenals when we feel, especially they're really connected when we don't drink enough water during the day. They get a lot affected. So all this, and the main hormone is cortisol, the main hormone that they produce. And cortisol is so essential because cortisol is what gives us energy during the day. Cortisol is the main hormone that will like switch us, and like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, yes, let's go, you know. So this is the hormone. And when we don't have that switch, it means that it's not really working properly. So we want to take supplements like Mitomax or Massage, Basil, and Magnolia, because they will help to release the stress that is connected to the adrenal, and then we will have much more energy into the body. Another way to harmonize the adrenal gland is by tapping. I don't know if you ever heard like EFT therapy, where you can tap. I can show you maybe. It's just here. You can like tap with your hands, and that will help, especially connected to metabolize the system. And yeah, and one of the things that will definitely make it worse is like taking caffeine and all these, you know, products that are stimulating, especially for people that need energy in the body. Sometimes they tend to take herbs or things that are stimulating, but actually we want to use the most natural. And, you know, I'm saying this, but also like sugar. You know, people eat a lot of sugar when they don't feel energy, and this is really toxic for the adrenals, because it's going to give that switch, and then again it's gonna make it much difficult for the body to keep it. So we want to definitely take some supplement, massage beautiful flowers like ginger, basil, peppermint. You can put them in a roller bottle, lemon, and yeah. So let me check. Okay, so the thyroid, I won't go so much in details to this, but the thyroid are also like, we have hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. So when there is like, when we feel very, very weak, and they cause the hypothyroidism, it brings dry hair. We can feel like mostly here, like very dry most of the time, slow heartbeat, very slow pressure, slow blood pressure, weight gain. These people that very easily gain weight, constipation. There are all these beautiful like myrrh, frankincense, lemongrass, clove that really, really help. And hyperthyroidism is when it works too much, the thyroid, and then it brings easily hair loss, tiredness in the eyes, goiter, so it's gonna give swelling here, rapid heartbeat, weight loss, diarrhea, menstrual periods may occur less often or with longer cycle. So you can also see a little bit in which side you are, and you can really, really give a boost to your system with that. And I've seen so many people having thyroid problem, but it's not so much about focusing on the thyroid, is again focusing on giving that boost to the system, because the glands, they start to overwork when we're not giving the basic nutrients to the body. So when we said at the start, if you really are taking good nutrients and you're really doing your best to release the stress, release tension into the body. And all these frankincense and lemongrass, for example, they work really wonderful into releasing these tensions into the body. So here I wanted to show you, like, you can always you can take a screenshot, or you can find anyway these pictures online also, because you can give yourself, according to where you have the main issue, you can give yourself a wonderful massage to your feet. We can massage the adrenals. You can see in the middle, right in the middle of the foot. The thyme gland is very important. It's in the middle of the chest, where the bone is. There is like a bigger bone, and this regulates the immune system. So when the immune system is very weak, we can feel that also the chest is going to be very, very weak. This is another very important gland. And then we have the thyroid. You can massage under the feet where the big toe is, the pituitary gland on the big toe. Then we have on the left the liver. So it's down where the pinky is. You can give a massage. Another one is the pancreas. And then on the right side, you can see the lymphatic gland. And you can see in the area 0.4. That is very, very important. Lymphatic system is very important because it's really connected with the skin. So people that have a lot of problem with the skin, you can give a very good massage in this area of the foot. And of course, the 0.14 that we saw before. And then you can just have a look there and see if there is something that, you know, you feel needs maybe the stomach, supporting the digestion, ears and eyes. You know, you can have a beautiful look. And of course, you can also write to me if you feel you want to understand more yourself, like what is the area that you feel most concerned, you know, you can also understand together more. So here, I think this is almost the last, yeah, we're almost finished. So here is the last one about the happy hormone. And somehow this is not showing me. So the happy hormones. So this is the main point of our presentation that I wanted to speak, because you know, we have all these hormones into our body, and the hormones that we use the most, or that are most affecting us, is definitely dopamine. So it's the motivational dopamine, and comes from cortisol. So finishing a task, celebrating small wins, self-care activities, exercise, listening to music, gratitude, these are all, you can see, like more masculine traits that are very important, like in a man. So to develop this type of hormone. Serotonin is the mood stabilizer. So when you're more grounding, more calming, meditating, yoga, deep breathing, running, sun exposure, eating bananas, that's really important. Like magnesium. Magnesium is really helps. Serotonin, vitamin D. Then we have endorphin, painkiller. And this is one of the, endorphin is when we're like trying to like achieve things, you know, that we need that extra energy to feel that boost within ourselves. And that's especially really helpful in a man body. But in a woman body, it's going to really bring imbalances, because the main hormones in the woman body that we want to cultivate is oxytocin. Is the love contentment hormone. And why I'm saying this in woman, because it develops the most the moment the woman has a child, or just genuinely takes care of other people. So in this, like, I feel personally in my life, when I'm going through struggles and I'm going through like physical pain and sickness, when my mind is absorbed in myself, I feel definitely like all over the place. But when I'm able to meditate still of how can I pray, how can I contribute still to care for others, you know, when the consciousness of a woman is really around how can I serve others, how can I develop that selfless mood, it's so wonderful, because all the systems, especially the ovaries, they become so nourished and so quickly. I've experienced this like so much in my life and in other women that have been cultivating more this like selfless love. And of course, I'm speaking about women, but also for men, this is absolutely incredible. If it is, maybe a man doesn't really aspire for it as a woman, like as women, we really want to feel safe and we want to feel more this energy of contributing with love to others people's life. In the other side, for example, more male traits is when we want to more get things done or achieve things or have a great career, you know. Maybe a man is more oriented into having like a very powerful, like impacting people or helping others like in a more practical way, not caring so much if the people will, you know, necessarily be all sweet and lovely to them. So that's why I'm saying it's definitely really activates more that female traits. And of course, you know, they're always balanced in every human being. You know, there is more female energy or male energy. And the most healing power that we have within ourselves, in whatever we do, in whatever our body is, if we can develop gratitude, that is what is going to really change our life, internally, externally, and in anything we do. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And I know it went on for so long. It was such a long presentation. I'm so grateful you kept up with me. It was really wonderful that we were all online with me. And this is just the last that Doterra offers some really nice price offers for especially the kit of women, has a specific kit that gives you like a free oil of the month, and it gives you free product credits. So anytime you buy anything Doterra, you get free product credits. So it means that you can accumulate them and then you can have so many products for free. And by buying like a kit of around 125 points, you can have always one oil for free. And that's so wonderful, because this month it was lavender. So this offer is always till the 15th of the month. So then every month is a different oil. And if one makes a payment more than 200 points, then you get, this month it was 2 oils in Europe. We had Copaiba and Adaptive, and in Mexico now I don't remember which oils was, but they're so wonderful, like all these discounts, because when I buy other products, that's pretty much it, you know, when you buy supplements. But with Doterra, you can collect these points. So anytime you want to buy even a supplement or an oil or whatever, you're gonna have all these points saved in your account that will allow you to make free buy things for free. So thank you all so much. Do you have any questions about it? I didn't check the chat, but I didn't see any. You can unmute yourself if you want to share anything somehow. Oh, now I can see the chat. Somehow I couldn't see. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Manjari. It was very nice.
Thank you all. You feel like sharing, any one of you, what you like the most?
To share and not diminishing any of the other professions. This has been my favorite so far. Funny enough, this is mostly directed to women, but it's just your approach. It's not about the product, the plan. It's the energetic factor of it, the spirituality, how it works with our not only our physical body, but the subtle body too. I just loved it, and I just want to thank you very much for this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's really the core of the plant that we want to look at, and then we can really discover so many amazing ways of how we can use it in our life. And that's the beauty that this company that has so many like just pure products, and then you can use it as you like, and you can have just the purity of it, and then understanding how your body works, you can have all the mixes. And I love to do all the mixes myself, and without and then they are so powerful because they're concentrated, so you only really need like one drop, and so they last really for a long time, and really it's important. So thank you so